Alright, so here's what's going on. Last year in the summer I had a big oak tree fall right here next to the road. It fell out into the field here. And we cut all this for hay in the summertime. So I'm going to get all this cleaned up, and then that way we don't get it caught up in the hay mower. I'm going to try to drag it up into a pile somewhere right here and get it all burned up. And if there's anything left, I'll just shovel it up and dump it over the hill. But there's too much to do that with right now, so I'm going to try to burn a lot of it away. We're going to get a snowstorm, I guess, sometime tonight, so I don't know how much of a storm it's going to be, but all this has got to go. So I'm going to try to get it all cut up into chunks, get it into a pile, and set it on fire. You might be wondering why I'm dragging it like just a few feet from where it already is and piling it back up. It's because there's a road right here. I don't want it to get too close to the road. You know, if the wind picks up or something and somebody goes driving up through here, I don't want all that ash blowing over there. And plus I just don't want it to be this close to this brush line. There's an old fence line in here, and I don't want it to be that close and just burn up the brush line too, because everything is really dry right now. And you know, it's like 11 degrees out today, so once this thing gets going with all these dry leaves, everything's been pretty much freeze dried. It might just keep on going, so I don't want it to do that. So I'm just trying to separate it from the road a little bit is all. I didn't bring a big saw. I didn't see that in there. Might have to go get a big saw, but I wouldn't be me if I didn't try it with something that wasn't made for it. Obviously this little saw is only made for small limbs and such, but I might be able to get through it if I can work around it. Try to rake a lane through here. There's a bunch of big stuff still frozen down in there, but I'll try to rake all this out and kind of have like a path through here, and then there's hopefully going to be a separation between those real thick leaves. Wait till this wind dies down. I might not be able to burn it like I thought I would, because the wind seems to be picking up here and there. But if the wind dies down, I'll just set that on fire and then rake this up into the pile and just do it little by little. It's getting kind of tall now, so it's hard to get stuff clear up on top. Turn my attention to this little spot right here, and that'll be pretty much the last of it, other than this stuff that's just buried in the leaves that I gotta figure out how to get up out of there. That might just have to wait until it softens up a little bit, but I've been checking the weather periodically, and you know, the wind's kind of calmed down right now, but it you know, has its moments where it picks up and blows towards the road. So I might just wait, and they're backing the snow off. The snow was supposed to be here late this afternoon, but now they're slowly working it back, and now it's supposed to be here around 11 this evening. So I think I might just wait and tarp the pile for tonight, let it snow on top of the tarp, and then drag the tarp off there and set it up tomorrow, and then everything around it will be covered in snow, and it won't matter if some embers blow across out into the road or into the other ditch. I won't set anybody else's property on fire but mine. So might just do that, but for right now I'm going to try to get all this cleaned up too, get it over there, and there's some big stuff in there I don't know what I'm going to do with yet. I might just have to pile it up and take it over, just like I'm going to do with that. Maybe bring up a trailer and throw it on the trailer and take it all out there, and then if the neighbor wants it, he can piece on it some more. But for now, I'm going to try to get that cleaned up. try to figure out a way to get up there and cut a lot of that stuff down on top so I can get a tarp over it. So try to get that get something figured out to get up there. It looks pretty good for now. There's a couple pieces in there I'll reach in and get, but not that big a deal. We're pretty well done. Let's see what I can do about this. All right, so the big idea is I think I'm gonna try to pull the four-wheeler around to this side. I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of the uphill side. And then I'm just gonna try to climb up there and cut a bunch of that down and stand on it a little bit. And you might even get to see me fall. So that's really the only way I can think to do it. I'm not gonna be able to get a tarp over the top of that, so I gotta cut some of that stuff down on top. So we'll give it a shot and see what happens. Alright, so we got the tarp on. So tomorrow, after it snows a little bit, I'm going to come on, peel the tarp back off of it, and then I should be able to set it on fire and get it burning, and it'll be a little safer that way. I won't have to worry about catching everything on fire out through here. I know it's cold out, and we did get a good bit of rain before the cold came through, but all this stuff is just really dry. I'd be worried about setting all that on fire. So we'll see what happens tomorrow morning, and hopefully we can get this brush burnt down and have a nice clear open lane through here. All right, it's the next day, and we got a good bit of snow, so we're gonna run up here and see if we can't burn that brush pile in the field. Get it knocked out. We only got like 5 or 6 inches of snow overnight, so it's not as much as I thought it would be, but okay. I just need a little better run for it that time. Front tires keep hopping. They're breaking through the ice and just hopping, making it really difficult to gain any traction. But once you break through it once, and then you can kind of sail up through there. But all right, we're gonna get set up, and I'm gonna try to get this thing burnt and get it at least burnt partially the way down, and then that way I don't have to watch it all night. See if we can't get this tarp off here with all this ice on it.
Yeah, that burned down pretty good. So try to get some of this stuff raked in the middle and let it burn the rest of the way down. We'll be good to go.
that'll do. It's good enough for today. There's a little bit left there, but I think it'll burn down to just a little pile of ash. I mean, it's pretty hot in the middle still, so I think that'll do it. And I did notice while I was out here, there's a locust there I hadn't really paid much attention to. The top's already broken out of it, but I'm worried it might fall across the road, and I don't want that, so might have to come up and cut that one down, as bad as I hate to. It'll probably make another mess right here about where I'm standing, but I'd rather it come down over here and me just clean it up too than fall across the road and have to make somebody else worry about it. So might be able to cut it up for firewood too and give it off to the neighbor or somebody. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.